Hi there, I'm Dr. Noelle Nelson, and it's my pleasure to share a few thoughts with you today, some uplifting, inspiring, and practical tips to help you find greater happiness and success in your life. Today's topic, take the martyr out of patience. There's a definition of humility that I particularly like. Namely, it defines humility as the willingness to see everything new. Just because something was awful yesterday doesn't mean it has to be awful today. Just because something was wonderful yesterday doesn't mean it will be wonderful today. In both cases, it is up to us to create it the way we want it, to transform the awful into wonderful, the wonderful into even more wonderful. Now, what does this have to do with patience, you might ask yourself? Well, heck, a lot. You see, patience relies on trust. If you trust that the future of something will be good, then you have patience with it. For example, you're watching your rosebush grow. You trust that, given the right nutrients, water, and care, that it will grow beautiful roses. You are willing to be patient. Or let's say you've been having problems with your kid. They're talking back and being snotty and in general being a pain. But you know that your kid's a good kid, and you trust that they're going to turn out all right. So you're patient. You're willing to take the time and do what it takes to help your child get on a happier track. It takes patience to grow anything. A happy child, a beautiful rosebush, a successful relationship. Patience not as in putting up with things which are objectionable to you, but patience as a willingness to see everything new. In other words, patience as a direct function of trusting the future to be good. For example, let's say that your mother or your mother-in-law was really nasty to you on her last visit. She criticized your cooking, commented on the dying hydrangea in the corner, and made pointed comments about how you discipline your child or your pet. Now, ordinarily, you might come from a highly defensive place. You have no trust, like zero, that the next interaction with her is going to be good. So you don't have the patience it would take to work things through. Instead, you make nice, put a lid on it, minimize the time spent with her, and in general, just put up with her until she's gone. Phew! But if you are willing to be humble, to believe that just because yesterday's interaction with her was, what shall we call it, horrendous, doesn't mean that the next one will be, and trust that regardless of present appearances, the future can be good, you will be willing to be patient. You will be willing to take her aside, for example, and say, "Mom, we need to talk. I'm very uncomfortable with how you behaved towards me last time. I don't like being scrutinized and criticized. I want us to work out a way in which we can both express how we feel about the other and what the other is doing without either one of us feeling bad about it. Are you willing to work on this with me?" Now, if Mom is willing, praise be, you have the possibility of a good relationship here. If she's not, then you can choose what you want to do with the relationship so that you create a happy future for yourself. That may mean limiting the amount of time you spend with her. That may mean only seeing her in public places of her own choosing, so she isn't given the raw material with which to criticize your way of life. That may mean any number of choices, the important thing being your future is your responsibility. Be humble. Be willing to let everything be new, every day, and use that willingness as the basis for your trust in a wonderful future. From that foundation of trust, build a future for yourself that you enjoy, armed with the patience that trust engenders. Patience is such a misunderstood virtue. All too often it is synonymous with martyr and sacrifice. Instead, make it synonymous with joy and happiness. Use it as the wonderful tool it is, a loving eye on the future, and a wonderful future at that. Thank you for listening to Up, and check out my new book, I Survived COVID-19, What Now? Finding Happiness and Success in a Post-COVID World. If you'd like more uplifting, inspiring, practical tips and techniques, as well as my website, noellenelson.com. Or take a look at my Meet the Amazings Facebook page. Until next time, be well and take care.